The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
TI Trust stands for True Integrity. One of our core values that we had for our staff was integrity.
We want to be seen as a very integrity-driven company.
We've been doing trust services as an organization since the 1950s. It's all based on what's in the best interest of the clients.
At the end of the day, it's about serving that client and getting to a result that they need.
Welcome to Muddy River News Business Spotlight, brought to you by TI Trust. I'm Bob Goff with Matt Earhart with Kohl Wholesale today. Welcome.
Morning.
One of our fine sponsors, and of course a great local business and local employer. And it's a busy time of year for everybody, especially I guess for you guys, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is busy for us. You know, coming up on the holidays, there's a lot of special events and different additional business that we get for caterers and the like. So parties. So it's busy. It's a busy time.
How, I say new facility, but it's been probably almost 2 years now. How's the facility out on 57 working out for you guys?
Works out great, and it'll actually be 4 years in February.
Wow. So time flies.
So it worked out. It works out really well for us. It's given us the ability to be much more efficient than we were downtown. It's a better working environment for our employees, so that helps as well. And it gives us some capacity to grow, which we didn't have in the previous facility. So a lot of positives, and so it's been great.
When you say a couple of years, that's like a range.
Yeah,
so I was close there. So
right.
Well, and I tell you what, your downtown facility, you guys did so much work to make that just a beautiful part of the community with the cash and carry and all that. But obviously, the need to modernize and right there on the highway has offered a lot of positives for you guys.
It did, and we still use the facility. Down there, we still have our offices down there, and we use the building for some storage, so it's certainly not vacant by any stretch. But it was time. We were to the point where it really wasn't a question or really a decision anymore. It's something that had to be done.
Well, and with the growth of the company, one of the challenging things for you guys and everybody else, and something we've tried to assist you with, is hiring and just letting people know, hey, we've got good paying jobs here for a stable long-term company that's going to be here for a long time. That process going any better?
Slightly better.
Good.
I would say it's gradually gotten better over the last year. I mean, I would say 12 to 15 months ago, it was really, it was really bad. It was really catastrophic. And so we've steadily increased employment. We're not where we want to be yet.
Sure.
And here just of late, it seems like we've struggled to find as many applicants as we like. We're hopeful maybe January 1, maybe we'll get another pool. It's a competitive environment out there. We know that for sure. But I appreciate your comments. Yeah, I think we are a very stable, hometown company, and I think we're paying a very, very competitive wage. So if people are looking, please visit our website and check us out.
We'll have the link to the website at the bottom of the story as well, of course. And of course, you have no problems with trying to train people as well. You're saying, hey, come on in, we'll train you up.
Well, our business has historically not been looked at necessarily as a trade. Like
training, yeah.
Yeah, so we do have to do a lot of training, and there's more to our business than there's more to truck drivers.
Sure.
Our truck driver group than maybe there was in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as simply as just hopping in. The government for commercial drivers makes us do a lot of training, which is great. We want to be safe, and that's the most important part. But they also now have to be involved with a little more with technology and turn-by-turn directions, and soon scanning off the truck, and a little more to the. Of course, they got to do e-logs. They have to do all that basically online anymore. So a little more to it than there used to be, and so we like to consider it more of a trade and important part of the economy. Well,
and then good thing, I guess, to deal with also when you're talking to customers and you got a customer says, hey, I'm waiting on my truck, where's my truck? You guys, your sales guy, whoever, one phone call can say, boop, boop, yeah, your truck is 6 miles out.
Well, they can actually just go on our
They can find out themselves.
They can find their truck
themselves.
That's
great, wow.
So we have, and that's part of, better technology that we've had over the years, and putting things like that in our trucks where, they're all connected and we know where they are all the time, and the customer can look it up, anytime, know when it's going to be there.
But you have a business that is really so customer service driven, because all these restaurants in Quincy and around the surrounding area that rely on you, and a lot of them are customers of mine and clients, and I go to their places a lot too. Whether it's bread or whatever product they need, it's a direct lifeline with you guys.
Yeah, we think service is a differentiator for us. We think we do a really good job. We've got some good longtime sales folks out there taking care of people and trying to be consultants for them, whether it's the new items or new trends or better pricing or whatever we can bring to the table to help them to be successful. If our customers aren't successful, we're not. That's what it's all about.
I was at a place last week, and I saw they had a steak on there, pretty good price, pretty good special. Had it; it was really good. And I got that. They said, "Well, got that from Kohl's." So
good. It's always good to hear that.
Well, I think that again, with your history and track record, and especially you've got some customers that you've dealt with for so many years, but then you've got a lot of guys and gals who say, "I'm going to get in the restaurant business." When they sign up and do work, do you try to explain to them, look, this is a very competitive environment you're joining, and you got to try to get them, you try to help them a little bit in that regard, don't you?
I mean, certainly if they're investing their own money and
Sure.
they've made that decision, I don't know that I want to get in the middle of that, but we want to help them be successful.
Right.
I mean, there is the turnover rate in the restaurant industry is fairly high.
Yeah.
Depending on the metric you look at, I mean, 5 to 10% of every restaurant is going to go out of business this year. And you got new ones, and so you always have that turnover. And so we just try to help them as much as we can to be successful. That's about that's what we can do.
And I think another thing that you guys have done for many years that I've had the privilege to attend many years of the food show. I see a lot of your customers there, and I'll talk to them, and they'll be trying out all the good new stuff there. How long does it take to plan that, and what goes into making that event new and different every year?
Well, I think the day after the food show, we start planning for the next food show.
Come on, man, you got to take a day off, right?
Well, the reason that's successful, of course, has a lot to do with our vendor partners.
Sure.
I mean, we're bringing in over 100 of our vendors, and so we have to plan those dates. We have to give those guys the dates. Got to let them know for their planning. A lot of those folks are covering the regional Midwest territories or whatever, and they're pulled a lot of directions. So. We're starting, and actually we have those dates lined up probably more than a year out.
Right.
But right after that, we start trying to line up the items, make sure the vendors are committed to coming. So it's just kind of an ongoing process. We had a couple, almost 2.5 years there where we didn't have one,
right.
And now we're back to kind of our every 6 months, and hopefully we can stay on that track for some time, because we do enjoy the showcase, and it's just a great way for us to sell. Food is something that to taste it is how you sell it, and it's hard to look at a description and a item number and is that going to work or not. So
yeah, because when you look on TV, a lot of times that food's not as good, doesn't taste as good as it looks.
Yeah, sometimes those sandwiches
right?
don't look quite the same, do they?
I will say thank you on behalf for Steve Inger, who I know loves the food show, by the way. Mm-hmm. So he every time writes a big story, he loves it there. So you talking about the future of the company. I know the family. You've got new generations of the family coming in now, and also bringing in young talent, hiring people. Again, you want to make it so you've got a new generation and the next line of folks getting ready to pick up the ball and run with it. That's kind of, you got to do that, keep going, right?
We're really excited about that. My daughter has joined the company here a couple of years ago and is working on our transportation side of things. And then a niece, my brother Rick's daughter Clara, is doing some finance and IT work. And so we're really excited about that. And we may have more to come. So hopefully we will. But yeah, we feel very good about continuing. They're the 6th generation.
Right.
Wow. And 150-year anniversary next year. So big year for us next year. We've got have some special plans at the food show. And
that's going to be one heck of a food show.
So
then.
we want to pull out all the stops.
I better tell Steve to get a cot or something so he can stay all day.
So we are very excited about the future. We think our place in the industry is very solid. Of course, Our competition, we have plenty, are the larger corporate national distributors in the region. But we think our family, independent-run regional business offers a great alternative to that model that they have. And so we feel like we compete very well in the market.
Well, like I said earlier, I know a lot of your clients are friends of mine, and I know they appreciate you bringing that personal service and the really hometown quality to the table for them, and help them fill their tables as well. So, one last question: cash and carry, how's that doing? And what does that? How does that kind of differentiate or offer from some other retail outlets?
Well, first of all, we offer some more food service oriented type items, but it really, as a wholesaler, sometimes we're more of a behind the scenes company. We're not necessarily advertising out there for our products like some other retailers are. So it gives us kind of a retail face in the community, which we think is important, and allows us to showcase some items and some non-food items. A big part of our business is non-food. Right. Disposables and equipment supply and so forth. So allows us to showcase that. So I think this is our 23rd year for that. We do have some plans this year to do some upgrades to that. Some of our coolers and reach-ins, they've kind of reached the end of their useful life. So we're going to do a little facelift to the this spring at the cash and carry. So we're excited about that for next year. So it does a few things for us, but we think it's a nice ad for us as a face of the community. Yeah, it's a great looking building right there as you come into town from Missouri as well. So, well, I know you're busy, and I want to thank you for taking your time to stop by and to talk to us. And again, thank you for being a sponsor, and thanks for being a solid local employer for the region. Thanks for having me. All right, that's Matt Earhart with Kohl Wholesale. I'm Bob Goff. Thank you for watching the Business Spotlight, brought to you by TI Trust.
TI Trust stands for true integrity. One of our core values that we had for our staff was integrity.
We want to be seen as a very integrity-driven company.
We've been doing trust services as an organization since the 1950s. It's all based on what's in the best interest of the clients.
At the end of the day, it's about serving that client and getting to a result that they need.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.